during rifle season, it's the same thing. They come right back to it.
Yeah.
And they all hang out down there like all together.
But even though we did see a couple bucks during daytime in the evening
saw
around here, but it was definitely you know, a pattern shift a little bit, and that's the way it goes. But John will be hunting down around home, and I'll make it out this week sometime and maybe next. See what we can get, see if I can get anything down. Well, we weren't able to close the deal with John up on his property. The weather was just completely so windy that it just didn't seem like the deer wanted to move. But now it's the middle of the week, it's Wednesday. I'm actually able to get out with the bow myself. First time I've been out since I shot my doe up in my food plot. But what's funny is I got done with some work today. It's around 2 o'clock now. So about an hour ago I went up and checked my trail camera from in my food plot, and there was a nice about 2-year-old 8-point right underneath, probably 10 yards from the stand, making a scrape there. I believe there was a doe down below him. And but yeah, I mean, I got quite a few different bucks on my trail camera up there in the food plot. Half of them have been at night, but the deer are moving all during the day, or all times of the day, from 10:30, noon, 1 o'clock. So it can happen at any time. The rut is on. It's just that hopefully a hot doe comes by, or we find a buck cruising looking for a doe. I am up in the pine stand. It's been so long since I've been up in these pines. But one of the things is the tree that I used to hunt out of with Danielle and I also in the rifle season, well, those were white ash. And if you look right here, you can see that white ash is dead. It's so dead. So the problem is the nicest, biggest, straightest trees in the whole section of this pine stand are all white ash. They're all dead. I don't feel safe strapping myself to one of those trees. And so I'm in a big cherry tree. Shane Reed killed a doe out of this tree right here one time in an earlier video. Down here's the logging road. I actually have our double ladder stand from up on top of the hill set right there, so that way if Danielle and I wanted to come and hunt this pine stand, instead of being up in here looking down at the road, because a lot of the deer like to walk the road, we'd be down below the road looking up. The only problem is now we can't see way up in there because it is so thick, and you have all these autumn olive and jagger bushes and multiflora rose growing, and but this is the type of place where bucks like to go. The does like to try to stay hidden from the bucks, and I always see a lot of good rut activity where you are in dark, thick, remote places where the deer usually just don't get disturbed, and you're not going to see them driving down the logging road. They're going to be up in here laying in this thick stuff. So I'm about 50-60 yards off the road, and it's starting to open up because now a lot of these pine trees have fallen down, and a lot of the birch and maple are coming up, and that's shading out a lot of this brush and opening it up a little bit more in the middle. What's interesting, this is really interesting. I have killed, I've killed the last 2 Pope and Young bucks out of here. In 2006, 2007, and that was in a big white ash tree right up here, maybe probably 75 yards. I killed my very first buck with my bow and arrow. I believe it was in that tree right there. Yeah, it's only about 10 feet and it's dead and broken off. What that was is one of these little Scotch or red pine here, and that's what used to be all through here, and they've slowly started to die, falling off, and now that's what left the white ash and the birch to come up through, and not really any oak, because the oak anything that you do see as oak is getting choked out. This does sort of need timbered a little bit. Take some of that, there's junk trees like the birch and the dead white ash out of there, but hopefully some of those oak come up through.